אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללוך סלה. אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו. תהילה לדוד, ארון ממך, אלוהי המלך, בעברך שמך לעולם ועד. בכל יום אברכך, ואהלה שמך לעולם ועד. גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר. דור לדור ישבח מעשיך וגבורותיך יגידו. הדר כבוד הודך, ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך. העזו זמורותיך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה. זכר טובך יביאו, וצדקתך ירננו. חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדל חסד. טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו. יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך. כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו. להודיע לבני האדם גבורותיו, וכבוד הדר מלכותו. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. תומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, וזוקף לכל הכיפופים. עיני קולך יסברו, ואתה נותן לכם ותחלם בעיתו. פותח את ידיך, ומשפיע לכל חי רצון. צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו. קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יראוהו באמת. רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם. שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל רשעים ישמיד. תהילת אדוני ידבר בי, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם.
Adonai, I call to you, my rock. Do not disregard me, for if you hold aloof from me, I shall be like those gone down to the pit. Listen to my plea for mercy when I cry out to you, when I lift my hands toward your inner sanctuary. Do not count me with the wicked and evildoers who profess goodwill toward their fellows while malice is in their heart. Pay them according to their deeds, their malicious acts. According to their handiwork, pay them. Give them their deserts. For they do not consider the Adonai's deeds, the work of his hands. May he tear them down, never to rebuild them. Blessed is the Lord, for he listens to my plea for mercy. Adonai is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him. I was helped, and my heart exulted. So I will glorify him with my song. Adonai is their strength. He is a stronghold for the deliverance of his anointed. Deliver and bless your very own people. Tend to them and sustain them forever.
ימליך Malchotei Ve'yatzmach Purkanei V'karei Yeshua Mashiach B'chayechom u'vyomeichom u'chayei b'chol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'b'zman karev v'imro Yeshemei Rama Mebarach Le'olam Le'olamei Alamaya Yitbarach Yishtabach V'yitpahar v'yidroma midnasei V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kodesha berichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tuosh v'chata v'nehemata Damiran ve'amma V'imro
Repentance should be attained through joy. We should rejoice in God to the extent that we may regret our offending Him. The performance of a meritorious deed awakens joy in us. A joyful person ought to share his mood with those in sadness. The mind is the essence of man. He is wherever his thoughts are. He is in a holy place wherever he thinks holy thoughts. Anger and cruelty show the lack of knowledge. Better understanding brings peace and serenity, kindness and contentment. The knowledge that whatever happens to you is for your good gives you a life of eternal bliss. Slaves of gold suffer irritation and bitterness, sadness and anxiety. The more gold they own, the more anxious they are. If you know that a soft answer will calm your enemy, do not withhold it from him. Whoever is in position to prevent wickedness and fails to do so is regarded as if he performed the evil himself. Charity is greater than the sacrifices offered upon the altar, but kindness is greater than charity. Kindly people should take heed that their kindliness may not result in more evil than good. The children are unruly in a family where the parents are untruthful. Whoever has no confidence speaks falsehoods. Whoever speaks falsehoods has no confidence. He who does not care to prevent the wasting of another's property is like a thief. He who gives charity with a smile is truly a right-minded man. One should believe in Adonai by virtue of faith rather than miracles.
Nishmat, nishmat, kol chai. Nishmat, nishmat, kol chai. Tevarech et shimcha, shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu. נשמעת, נשמעת כל חי, נשמעת, נשמעת כל חי, תברך את שמך, שמך אדוני אלוהינו. ברוח ובשר תפאר ותרומם, ברוח ובשר תפאר ותרומם, זכרך מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם. תאר מן העולם ועד העולם. תאר נשמע כל חי, נשמע כל חי, תברך את שמך, שמך אדוני אלוהינו. ברוח ובשר תפאר ותרומם, ברוח ובשר תפאר ותרומם, זכרך מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם. תאר מן העולם ועד העולם. תאר מן העולם ועד העולם. מן העולם ועד
Avinu Malkeynu, chatanu lefanecha.
Our Father, our King, we have done wrong in your presence.
Avinu Malkeynu, ein lanu melech ele ata.
Our Father, our King, we have no one to rule over us but you.
Avinu Malkeynu, aseh imanu lema'an shemecha.
Our Father, our King, help us for the honor of your name.
Avinu Malkeynu, chadesh aleinu shana tova.
Our Father, our King, renew us for a good year.
Avinu Malkeynu, hafer atzat oivenu.
Our Father, our King, nullify the plans of any who may seek to do us harm.
Avinu Malkeynu, salach umechal lechol avonotenu.
Our Father, our King, grant forgiveness and atonement for all of our transgressions.
Avinu Malkeynu, hachazirenu b'tshuva shlema lefanecha.
Our Father, our King, help us return wholeheartedly into your presence.
Avinu Malkeynu, shalach refuah shlema lecholei amecha.
Our Father, our King, send thorough healing to all those who ail.
Avinu Malkeynu, כותבנו בספר חיים טובים.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us for good fortune in the book of life.
אבינו מלכנו, כותבנו בספר גאולה וישועה.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us in the book of redemption and salvation.
אבינו מלכנו, כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us in the book of sustenance and livelihood.
אבינו מלכנו, כותבנו בספר זכויות.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us in the book of merit.
אבינו מלכנו, כותבנו בספר סליחה ומחילה.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us in the book of forgiveness and atonement.
אבינו מלכנו, הצמח לנו ישועה בקרוב.
Our Father, our King, let grow for us the tree of imminent redemption.
אבינו מלכנו, חמול עלינו ועל עוללינו בטפנו.
Our Father, our King, be merciful to us and to all our offspring.
אבינו מלכנו, עשה למען הרוגים על שם קודשך.
Our Father, our King, act in memory of all those who have been killed while honoring your name.
אבינו מלכנו, עשה למען שמך הגדול, הגיבור והנורא שנקרא עלינו.
Our Father, our King, act in honor of your great and mighty, awe-inspiring name, which has been called out over us for our protection.
אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים, עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, והושיענו.
Our Father, our King, be gracious with us and respond to us, for we have no deeds to justify us. Deal with us in righteousness and love, and save us now.
Avinu Malkeynu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeynu, Chatanu lepanecha. Avinu Malkeynu, Chamol aleinu, Me'anol aleinu. Avinu Malkeynu, Kale Dever, Vechelev Ram, Vimei Aleinu. Avinu Malkeynu, Slichot Umasti Ve'aleinu Avinu Malkeynu Avinu Malkeynu Kotvenu Mesefer Chaim Tovim Avinu Malkeynu Chodesh Aleinu Chodesh Aleinu Shana Tova Avinu Malkeynu Avinu Malkeynu Chodesh Aleinu Shana Tova Avinu Malkeynu Shema Koleinu Shema Koleinu
Adonai, don't rebuke me in your anger. Don't discipline me in the heat of your fury. Be gracious to me, Adonai, because I am withering away. Heal me, Adonai, because my bones are shaking. I am completely terrified. And you, Adonai, how long? Come back, Adonai, and rescue me. Save me for the sake of your grace. For in death no one remembers you. In Sheol, who will praise you? I am worn out with groaning. All night I drench my bed with tears, flooding my couch till it swims. My vision is darkened with anger. It grows weak because of all my foes. Get away from me, all you workers of evil, for Adonai has heard the sound of my weeping. Adonai has heard my pleading. Adonai will accept my prayer. All my enemies will be confounded, completely terrified. They will turn back and be suddenly put to shame.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח נמצא ואין את אל מציאותו אחד ואין יחיד כי ייחודו נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו הינו אדון עולם לכל אוצר יורה גדולתו ומלכותו שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את תמונתו תורת אמת נתן לעמו על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו לא יחל יכער ולא ימיר דתו לעולמים לזולתו סופר יודע סתרנו מביט לסוף דבר לקדמתו גומל לאיש חסד כמבעלו נותן לרשע רע כרישתו ישלח לקץ ימים משיחנו לשתות לך כקץ ישועתו מתים יחייהם ברוב חסדו ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו ל13 עיקרים הם יסודת אל תורתו תורת משה אמת ונבואתו ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו תורת משה אמת ונבואתו ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו
סליחות ליום ה'. תחינה. אדוני יחיד ליבות, כל בני אדם חוקר, עושה גדולות עד אין חקר, ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר, יום שני. הקשב שיחת עבדך ונאומו, סובל גלות על שכמו, ויום נפלו להקימו. יש אחד ואין שני, וזכור ברית ידידיך. לעם צועקים נגדך, בני יעקב עבדיך, ויצב גם את השני. דודי יקשב תחינות, וחשוב תפילות כמנות. בזכות מקריבים קורבנות, נתנאל בן צוער ביום השני. הט אוזניך לתפילת עמך, ושלח לנו משיח צדקך, ונקריב קורבנות לפניך, את הכבש אחד בבוקר, ואת הכבש השני.
Slichot for Yom He, Supplications for Mashiach, our Great Commission. Adonai is the only one. He investigates all human hearts. He does unquestionable wonders. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day.
Listen to your servant's conversation and his speech. He suffers the yoke of exile on his shoulder. Remember to lift him up on the day he falls. There is only one and no second.
Please remember the covenant of your beloved, the people who cry out before you, the sons of Jacob, your servants, and he will command the second covenant as well.
My beloved, please listen to their supplications and think on their prayers correctly. In the merit of offering up those sacrifices, Netanel, son of Tzuar, on the second day.
Lend your ears to the prayer of your people. Send us your righteous Messiah, and we will offer up sacrifices before you, one lamb in the morning and the second lamb.
Shalom, my name is Marco Rodrigues from Yeshivat Shuvu Portuguese and Beit Shuvu Portugal. Today we are talking about Selichot. We are talking why we start Selichot on the second day of Elul, not like the Ashkenazim, like Sephardic custom. So let's start with great verse that we start the Selichot, the Sephardic Selichot. Come, let us return to the Lord, for he has torn, but he will heal us. He has struck, but he will bind us up. After 2 days, he will revive us. On the third day, he will raise us up, that we may live before him. Hosea 6:1-2. It is Sephardic custom to begin the recitation of Selichot, that means apologies, during the month of Elul, and to continue during the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Ashkenazi custom, on the other hand, is to begin on the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. Although one could argue that the Sephardic custom of starting Selichot before Rosh Hashanah might not be the most logical. There is depth in this minhag that deserves exploration. Teshuvah, that means return, is a prerequisite for Selichah, of forgiveness, as the spiritual clarity achieved through repentance is essential for a sincere apology. However, while national Teshuvah only begins on Rosh Hashanah, the Sephardi practice of beginning Selichot in Elul prepares the individuals and the community for this spiritual journey. Maimonides, or Rambam, mentions that in his time, Selichot were recited only between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, like he said in Mishneh Torah, Hilchot Teshuvah 3:4. However, he also emphasized that one of the path to achieving Teshuvah is to regularly call out to God, like he said in the same book in chapter 2, verse 4. Therefore, the Sephardic custom can be seen as an early plea for divine assistance, recognizing our state of spiritual need even before we have full clarity about our mistakes. This period of preparation traces back to the tradition that Moses ascended Mount Sinai on the first day of Elul, after the sin of the golden calf, to pray for the people's forgiveness, returning 40 days later on Yom Kippur. Thus, it is symbolically appropriate to seek forgiveness from God during this period. The custom of Selichot can also be seen as an evolution of the practice of the early Marranos, or the New Christians, who, after being forced to abandon their faith in the Iberian Peninsula, found refuge in places like Ferrara, Venice, Antwerp, Amsterdam, Hamburg, London, and Bayonne. The first publication of a prayer book for these communities was made in 1555 in Ferrara by Abraham Uske at his press. However, Uske's version did not include Selichot. It was the expanded versions published later by the Jews of Amsterdam that included the Slichot and already featured Hosea 6:1-2 at the opening of the Selichot. Uske's original edition was crucial for the return of Marranos, who had lost knowledge of Hebrew and formal Judaism, providing them with a pathway back to the ancestral faith. David Aaron de Sola was a renowned Sephardi rabbi and liturgist born in Amsterdam, who served as a rabbi of Bevis Mark Synagogue in London, one of the oldest Sephardi congregations in the world. He was the author and translator of several works, including the famous edition of the Form of Prayers according to the custom of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews, where the verse from Hosea 6:1-2 is found at the opening of the Selichot, just as in the earliest versions from Amsterdam. His work was crucial in preserving and transmitting Sephardic tradition in the diaspora. His grandson, David de Sola Pool, was a prominent spiritual and intellectual leader in the United States, serving as the rabbi of Congregation Shearit Israel, the oldest Jewish congregation in the United States. He was a fervent advocate for Sephardic traditions and worked tirelessly to connect the American Jewish community to its historical and spiritual roots. David de Sola Pool wrote extensively about Slichot, emphasizing that they serve to attune the spirit for the New Year's Day, the day of God's tribunal for remembrance and judgment of man's work on earth. They are our response in prayer to the prophet's solemn call, "Prepare to meet thy God, O Israel." Ithiel de Sola Pool, the son of David de Sola Pool, was an influential political scientist and sociologist whose work focused on the communication and convergence of freedoms, including the freedom of expression. In his book, Technologies of Freedom, he explores how the convergence of communication technologies influences the judicial system and the concept of forgiveness in modern society. Ithiel argued that the freedom of expression, like forgiveness, requires a space of mutual understanding and respect. This idea of convergence can be seen as an extension of traditional Jewish values where forgiveness and justice coexisted in a delicate balance. Just as our ancestors called out to God in search of forgiveness and guidance, we too must seek this balance. recognizing that the freedom we enjoy today is in part a reflection of the ongoing commitment to the values of justice, the Shuvu, and forgiveness. May we, during this period of Selichot, find clarity and strength to prepare ourselves for the new year, strengthening our connections with God and our community, both in the past and in the present. Shalom.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך עולם אשר קידשנו במאותיו וציוונו לשמוע קול שופר. אמן.